Good morning. Welcome to Trust Life with Louise Hay and Roxy Wright. I always love how the synchronicity happens with this particular book because I just presented my Qigong workshop, or my Qigong along with me, and we just talked about contentment and feeling content with the universe and trusting that the universe, when we connect with it, that it will help us to make wise decisions. And Louise's offering today for October 21st is, I trust life to help me make wise and loving decisions. Is the universe friendly? If it is, it's here to help us in love and gratitude. Here she goes. Robert Holden's children, Beau and Christopher, love Louise Hay, and she feels the same way about them. It's interesting watching them together. Louise doesn't dote. She doesn't do tickles. She doesn't play games. She treats Beau, who is 6 years old, not as a big girl or a good girl, but as a real girl. Christopher, who is 3 years old, is a real boy. And Louise is no age at all. And that's that. It's all perfectly natural. The way they are together reminds Robert of Mary Poppins with Jane and Michael. I love that imagery. The first time Christopher met Louise, he ran right up to her and shouted, "Would you like to see my teeth?" Louise considered his proposal for a moment and said, "Yes, I would." Christopher then looked up and grinned. "Thank you," said Louise. "That's okay," said Christopher. He hadn't done that with anyone before and hasn't repeated it since. Later on, Robert asked Louise about the significance of teeth. In her matter-of-fact way, she said, "Teeth are about making good decisions." He was simply telling me that he knows his own mind and that he is capable of making good decisions. Now, as I read that, I hadn't read this before I read it to you. And I may have read it a couple of years ago, but I had not read that. And in this moment, when it talked about teeth are about making good decisions, he was simply telling me that he knows his own mind and he's capable of making good decisions. Have you any decisions that you've regretted in your life? I've got a couple that I look back on still, and I can see the times, I can see the universe trying to say to me, don't go down that road. Don't go down that road. Oh, you're going down that road. Well, I'll help you do some damage control. And also the universe gave me, before I went down a certain road, the universe gave me other options. Places that I could have gotten off this one road and taken another road, which probably would have led me into a totally different life. But I chose to take that road. And it's created some difficulty for me, that's for sure. Some introspection, some wisdom has been gained, that's for sure. And I've lost a lot of teeth, actually. I have about 7 implants in my life, in my head. So it's very interesting how our bodies are connected, and in the Qigong that I just did, I'm going to post both of these to this page. I'll share that because I did the Qigong that I did on the Spring Forest Qigong website this week, or the Facebook page this week. As we connect with our body's energy, and sometimes we see this in hindsight, as we connect with the messages that our body gives us, and we connect with the courage to take action on the messages that we receive. Our bodies receive those messages. And what we can do to understand the messages now even more is a very simple, what Dr. Kim Duramo calls the light-heavy technique. So think about a decision that you're about to make, and hopefully you've got all your teeth in your head. But think about a decision that you're about to make, and breathe into that decision and make the decision in your mind, without you actually going and acting on the decision yet. Make the decision in your mind. Say, here are my choices. I'm going in this direction. And breathe into that. And feel what your body says to you when you say to your body, we're going to go in this direction. If your body goes, oh, good, then note that reaction. Now, take your mind, and in your mind, make the other decision. And see yourself making that other decision, taking that whole other path. Breathe into that. What does your body do? Does it get tight and contract it, or does it go, oh, that feels even better than the first one? Now, both of those decisions might both have you feel contracted. So there might be, so then you breathe into your body and go, well, neither of those ones feel correct. Is there another possibility? Get curious. And ask your body and ask your mind to bring you another image of something that's a little bit different. Something that is more perfect for you. And breathe into that one. And this is how we use our body to understand our connection to the universe and that guidance. This is how we get guidance. So we can get, our body is that, Dr. Candace Pert, who's a psychoneuroimmunologist, and she wrote a book called The Molecules of Emotion. Pretty catchy title, isn't it? It's a very excellent book. She says our subconscious mind, and we're always thinking, it's all stuck in my subconscious. How do I get at that? The subconscious mind, the body is the subconscious mind. And so we store things in our bodies. And as we discover pain, soreness, illness, things like that, we can start on this path and go, let me get curious about that. What is it that I'm storing in my body subconsciously that I'm not processing and releasing? Lifelong tasks. You can connect with me. I'm going to be presenting. I'm starting now. I present all these things, and now I'd like to call you and invite you into a more engagement. So if you go to my website, roxywright.com, in the next couple of days, I've just had a little bit of website glitches with my webmaster. I'm going to be putting on there a EFT practice, a Louise Hay and EFT practice group. So on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. on Zoom, we can connect. It will be by donation, actually. So if you feel you don't have funds at the moment, great, you can come in on donation. If you feel you'd like to donate, then you can do so as well. So we're going to connect for an hour together on a Zoom class, and I'll have a prompt, or you might email me first of all and say, hey, can we look at this concept here and pull some things out of that and dig down deeper into this particular concept or this type of a situation, and together we'll tap. Now you might think, well, if I get on that Zoom call, I'd like my own stuff to be taken care of and somebody else might have their stuff. But as we tap with each other, we have universal consciousness and we have experiences that are pretty common to mankind. So if I'm working with, say, Jane, and we're tapping on a specific thing for Jane, and we're all tapping together, it's called borrowing benefits. And as we tap together on each other's imbalances and release those and balance them, we get the benefit as well. And so as we tap together in a group, our collective consciousness releases extra energy and rises and receives the energy of unconditional love from the universe. That guiding energy that Louise talks about all the time. That decision-making energy that helps us to make good decisions. That we can actually trust. Because as I look back at the path, going into those decisions, one decision specifically, I can see where the universe offered me at least 3 options that were going to be different than the one I actually chose. There you go. And I can see that in hindsight, and I can bless the decision, and I've learned a great deal of wisdom from it. But now I'm learning to listen better. Namaste. Go to my website, roxywright.com. Have a look. Connect with me. Subscribe to my newsletter, and we'll chat. Namaste. I love you.